Hello and welcome to this podcast to highlight NPS tax benefit. National Pension System or NPS, as is widely known, has become a preferred product for retirement savings within a period of 10 years of its launch. One of the biggest reasons for it to become popular is the tax benefit it offers. However, there is a lot of confusion about how much to invest in this NPS to get the tax benefit. In this podcast, we will give you an insight into the tax benefits of NPS in just 4 points. This is Sachin Jain, Research Analyst at ICICI Direct. So let's get started. Before we get into the details of tax benefit, let us give you a quick overview of NPS. NPS is a voluntary retirement scheme. You can invest in this scheme to create a retirement fund. Apart from this, you can also arrange a monthly pension for yourself. The age group of 18 to 65 years can join this scheme. As NPS is a retirement plan, you can withdraw the amount invested in this only after you attain the age of 60 years. However, partial withdrawals are allowed for certain special needs like children's education. NPS tax benefits can be availed only if you invest in a Tier 1 account. Thus, you should keep this in mind while investing. Now let's talk about the tax benefit of NPS. Number 1. The first tax benefit is that NPS is listed in ATC of the Income Tax Act. Hence, you can invest up to rupees 1.5 lakhs in the NPS and claim deduction under Section ATC of the Income Tax Act. Number 2. The tax benefit under Section 80CCD 1B, subsection 1B of the Income Tax Act. There is also an additional tax saving provision for NPS subscribers. Subscribers can invest an additional sum of rupees 50,000 and claim tax benefit under Section 80CCD subsection 1B. This rupees 50,000 deduction is over and above the limit of rupees 1.5 lakh which is available under Section 80C. So you can invest a total of rupees 2 lakhs in NPS, which means rupees 1.5 lakhs under Section 80C and rupees 50,000 under Section 80CCD subsection 1B and claim the tax deduction. So it means that you can save approximately rupees 62,400 if you fall under the 30% tax bracket. Number 3, the tax benefit under Section 80CCD subsection 2. This section covers the contribution made by the employer. Hence, self-employed individuals would not be able to claim tax deduction under this section. Employees can claim tax deduction under Section 80CCD 2 on the contribution made by their employers. However, in case of government employees, this deduction cannot exceed 14% of their salary amount, and for all other employees, it cannot exceed 10% of their salary. So let us understand this benefit with an example. Let us assume that an employee from the corporate sector has a salary of say rupees 6 lakhs as basic salary and say rupees 3 lakhs as DNS allowance. In this case, on the employer contribution, he or she can claim a deduction of rupees 90,000, which is 10% of the salary, including basic plus DRS allowance. Now, to this, we can add the deduction of rupees 2 lakh under Section 80C and under Section 80CCD 1B. Then he or she can claim a total deduction of rupees 2.9 lakh rupees. So the benefit number 4, the tax benefit on maturity amount. A taxpayer is not liable to pay any tax either on the returns or the final corpus amount obtained upon maturity of the NPS. On the maturity at the age of 60, investors would be able to withdraw up to 60% of the corpus without any payment of tax. The balance 40% of the corpus would have to be compulsory used to buy an annuity plan. This annuity received is, however, taxable in the year of receipt. So NPS actually allows you to save tax on the invested amount, maturity amount, and the returns as well. This tax treatment is largely an EEE, which is exempt, and exempt. In India, you can find this kind of tax exemption benefit only on very few financial products. So actually, investors should take most of this advantage, which is beneficially, which is available on only very few financial products. So I think that's what we have to share in this podcast. Before we leave you, please note that mutual pension system related services are not exchange traded products, and ISEC is just acting as a distributor to solicit these products. All disputes with respect to distribution activity would not have access to exchange investor redressal forum or arbitration mechanism. So that's what we have to share. Thank you and happy investing.